Hey guys, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards. Sunday night, beautiful night here, Memorial Day weekend, and I thought I'd sit outside and make this special video. Our good friend Warren D in the CLE, everybody knows Warren. Warren sent me this book, Tales from the Dugout, and it's a bunch of stories, 1,000 stories about wild stories from the minor league baseball, going all the way back into the 1800s up until modern day. And what Warren wanted is he wanted YouTube content creators to mail the book from one person to the other. So Warren had mailed this to me, and me and Warren, we like to read similar books, and he was telling me about this book. He said, Craig, you got to check it out. It's a really cool book. And so Warren was wanting us to mail it, read through it, look through it, and find a story that really speaks to you or even kind of matches up with your life in a way, and maybe autograph it and just put a note in it and then mail it on to the next YouTube guy. And so Warren mailed this book to me, and I've been reading through it, and I've really, really been enjoying the stories. And there's one that just really jumped out at me here. And, I was a railroad engineer. I worked for the railroad from 1995 to 2025. I just retired in January, so 30 years. And 28 of those years were as a locomotive engineer. And we used to take our trains. When we went through Pittsburgh, there were two routes we could go. And one was called the downtown route, and we went right by PNC Park and right next to the Clark building, which is near the stadium. A lot of people park there and they have tailgate parties. So we would go by and you'd see the tailgaters for like the Pittsburgh Pirate games or the Steeler games or the University of Pitt. And so we'd go right by there, you'd hang your head out and honk the horn, and people would hoot and holler and all that stuff. But we would go by PNC Park, the Pirates are playing, and obviously 81 home games, so you'd see a lot of go by the stadium a lot, probably 40 or 50 times a year. And we were so close to the stadium, you could smell it. You could smell the popcorn, the hot dogs, the beer. You could see part of the scoreboard. You could see the American flag. You could tell after the game if the Pirates had won because the Jolly Roger would be raised out in the outfield. And you could see, like in the upper deck, the very top row, you could see the silhouettes of the people's heads in the upper deck. So we were really, really close to the stadium. And there was a story in here that just really caught my eye, and it's called Trained Hands. And you can see there's a train on there, and there's an engineer waving his hands out the window. And me being an engineer for 30 years, I had my hand out the window a lot, waving to people, but never did this ever happen to me. The best minor league catch in 1912 came from a gloveless driver on July 17th. A train was traveling by Eclipse Park in Louisville, Kentucky, at 45 miles per hour, when a foul ball whizzed past the stands toward the front of the train. Engineer William Madden leaned out the window and caught the ball with his bare hand, and the crowd roared with delight. He threw the ball back, and it landed in the outfield. Now you can see I signed it up here with the date, put my name, Craig Campbell, Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and I even made a little arrow to myself, Craig Campbell, hanging out the window. And I wrote down that, we went right by PNC Park all those years in Pittsburgh. I saw the crowds, but I never, ever did see a ball come flying out towards me. And I don't know if I'd have good enough hands to catch it anyways. Furthermore, we didn't go 45 mile an hour past the stadium. The fastest we could go was 20. But usually whenever there were people tailgating, you'd go a little bit slower because you could hang out the window and, they'd be screaming and hollering, you'd be honking the horn. It was always a blast. I always enjoyed going by the stadium when there were games. So that story really, really jumped out at me. And I was flipping through, and I found another railroad one too. And so I had to sign that. And it was pretty cool. I'm still looking through. I may find some other ones too. I don't know. But just a really neat idea by Warren. There it is, the longest home run ever. Another railroad story. So I figured I got to sign that too. Toledo's Randy Bush hit a home run that traveled 200 miles. Come on, 200 miles on April 14th of 1982. The AAA Toledo Mud Hens, that was like Klinger's team when he was from MASH. The Toledo Mud Hens were on the road in Charleston, West Virginia, when Bush smacked a homer over the right center field fence. The ball landed in a moving coal car, which did not stop until hours later. That's a pretty cool story. So yeah, this is what the book's about. There's just all kinds of interesting things in here. And I like Warren's idea to mail it from one YouTube content creator to the next. And a guy that I know that loves stories because he tells great stories is the Drew at the Vintage Legacy. So Drew, when I get done, I'm going to need your address. I'm going to mail this to you, and I want you to tag me, and I want you to tag Warren. And then when you get done and you find the story that you like, sign your name to it. You know, put your channel name on there, put the date on it. If you find a couple, do that, because this book has got like 350 pages. So there's a lot of neat stories in here. They're just so interesting. And Warren's dream really is to have us mail this from one person to the next. So Drew, whenever you get done with it, mail it to whoever you want. And then that person will tag you and tag me and tag Warren. That way, eventually, as it's getting to the 50th person, there's going to be a whole bunch of us getting tagged. And I'd love for people to make a little video about this book, because it's a really cool idea. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what you got to say, Drew. And I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else has got to say. So everybody have a great Memorial Day. I love Memorial Day. It's just the start, the kickoff of the summer. And boy, do we need summer up here in Ohio, because it's been cold and wet and rainy. And just really remember those who came before us. And I'm a big supporter of the parades. And we used to go to the cemetery with our grandkids. Now they're 17 and 18. And we haven't done that for a long time. I've got a fifth great grandfather buried about 20 miles from here. He was a Revolutionary War soldier. And so maybe we should go down there tomorrow and get some wildflowers and put them on a stone. That might be a fitting thing to do for Memorial Day. All right, guys, take care. Look forward to seeing what happens with this book. Again, tag Warren, myself, and whoever you send it to. Have them tag you so we can keep track of it. All right, guys, have a great night and take care. Happy Memorial Day.